This video is about top 3 serial killers who were never caught. Unsolved true crime mysteries that still haunt the world. Some killers were arrested. Some were exposed. And some simply vanished. Imagine committing some of the most infamous crimes in history, and never being caught. Today, we are diving into 3 serial killers whose identities were never proven, cases so mysterious that even decades later, the truth remains hidden. Throughout history, law enforcement has relied on witnesses, evidence, and technology to catch criminals. But what happens when the evidence disappears? Witnesses are unreliable. And technology doesn't yet exist. These are the cases that haunt investigators, not because they were solved, but because they weren't. Let's begin with one of the most famous unsolved cases of all time. Number 3, Jack the Ripper. Location, Whitechapel, London. Year, 1888. In the late 19th century, London was the largest city in the world, crowded, polluted, and deeply divided by class. In the district of Whitechapel, poverty was extreme. Crime was common. And the streets were poorly lit. It was here that a killer emerged. In 1888, a series of murders shocked Victorian England. The victims were women living on the margins of society, and the crimes were unusually precise for the time. Police were overwhelmed. There were no fingerprints, no DNA, no surveillance cameras. To make matters worse, the killer appeared to taunt authorities. Letters were sent to newspapers and police stations, written in red ink, mocking investigators and signed with a name that would become legendary, Jack the Ripper. Some experts believed the killer had medical knowledge. Others thought he was a butcher or someone familiar with anatomy. Over the years, more than 100 suspects were investigated, including doctors, artists, politicians, and even members of the royal family. But every theory fell apart. Witness descriptions conflicted. Evidence was lost or contaminated. And corruption within the police force complicated the investigation. By the end of 1888, the murder stopped. Jack the Ripper vanished without a trace. More than a century later, the case is still studied, debated, and reanalyzed. Yet no identity has ever been conclusively proven. Number 2, the Zodiac Killer. Location, California, USA. Years active, late 1960s, early 1970s. Nearly 80 years after Jack the Ripper, another killer would terrorize the public, this time in modern America. He called himself the Zodiac Killer. Unlike most criminals, the Zodiac didn't hide in silence. He wanted recognition. He sent letters to major newspapers, filled with cryptic symbols, puzzles, and threats. Some included details only the killer could know. In these letters, the Zodiac demanded attention, claiming responsibility for multiple murders and promising more to come. Police departments across California worked the case. The FBI became involved. Yet the Zodiac always stayed ahead. Some of his coded messages were eventually cracked, revealing chilling messages about power and control. Others remain unsolved even today. Over the years, numerous suspects were named. One in particular gained widespread attention through books and films. But despite circumstantial evidence, no DNA match, no definitive proof, and no confession, the Zodiac's final confirmed communication arrived in the early 1970s. Then, silence. Whether he died, was imprisoned for another crime, or simply chose to stop, remains unknown. The case is still open. Number 1, the Axeman of New Orleans. Location, New Orleans, USA. Years active, 1918 to 1919. Our final case may be the strangest of all. In the aftermath of World War I, New Orleans was a city filled with tension, celebration, and fear. Between 1918 and 1919, a mysterious killer attacked victims in their own homes. He became known as the Axeman. The crimes appeared random. No clear motive. No clear pattern. But what truly terrified the city was a letter. In 1919, newspapers published a message allegedly written by the killer himself. In it, he claimed to be a supernatural entity and warned that he would strike again on a specific night. However, he made one chilling promise: anyone playing jazz music would be spared. On the night he mentioned, New Orleans erupted with sound. Jazz filled homes, bars, and streets. People stayed awake until dawn, hoping music would protect them. Amazingly, no attacks occurred. Soon after, the Axeman disappeared completely. No suspect was ever convicted. Several people falsely confessed. Others were investigated and cleared. More than a century later, the Axeman's identity remains unknown. These killers were never arrested, never identified, never punished. Their crimes ended, but their mysteries endured. They remind us that even with modern science and technology, some truths remain buried in history. And somewhere, the answers still exist. If you enjoy long-form true crime documentaries, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which unsolved case do you believe will never be solved? Thanks for watching.